Hey, bro, so what do you think I should do about it?
Honestly, I'm not sure, but you know what? Let's talk about it. All right. Um, Welcome back to Let's Talk About It podcast. This is going to be episode 2. Today we will have a special guest. I just wanted to say thank you guys for the last pod. It's been doing pretty well. I've gotten some feedback back. I appreciate everyone that reached out. I appreciate everyone that sent their questions. I appreciate everyone that maybe I had changed the perspective or helped you guys with everything I said in the last video. If I was able to reach anybody that did enjoy it and liked it, or that answered your question and maybe helped you through something, that would be awesome. Makes me feel the best. So I really hope that everything worked out for you guys, and I hope that we can continue to do these episodes and they just get better and better over time. But let me introduce my co-host for the day. I do plan to have some special guests in the future. This is a friend of mine from high school. I haven't seen her in a long time, but I really respect her opinion on things. I really like how she carries herself, and I just wanted to bring her on, and that way I have someone else to bounce these questions back and forth with. So, Jasmine, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. How's everything been? How you been?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, since high school, I kind of took a step back from like a lot of the partying.
Yeah.
'Cause back then.
We grew up. Yeah. Yeah.
But I kind of like adult life. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything crazy? Kids? Anything wild that has happened?
I'm the world's best TT.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. All right, awesome. Well, we're just gonna kind of bounce these questions off of each other. Hopefully, we can give you guys some nuggets, some things to take back that you can really enjoy, listen to a few times, and help you get through some stuff. Like I said in the last one, that's the whole point of the pod. So let's kick it off. The first question, it looks like, what if I don't like who I am right now? So that's gonna be our first question. My advice on that, guys, is progression is the cure to depression. So always make sure you're setting goals that you can achieve and that you can see in real time, right? Oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. Start small. Make sure you set a time frame. I want to get it done in 2 months. I want to do this. I want to do that. And as you start to achieve these small goals, you start to realize that these things aren't as hard or unattainable as you might have thought they were, right? So then you achieve that goal. You're like, hey, I've done it. Now I can get better and better. And what happens is over time, you start to gain more confidence in yourself. You start to feel better about what you're doing. And you just tend to kind of grow from that. And then you start to like yourself a little bit more. Also, reflect inside too. If you are a shitty person, right? Like if you're not a clean person, if you're not, if you're an asshole, if you had an attitude problem, make sure you call that shit out. It's fine for you to take accountability on yourself. That's probably one of the biggest things you have to do. Look at yourself in the mirror, say, yo, I'm an asshole. I'm a womanizer. I'm a narcissist. Like, it's not hard. You just have to put it on the table, because then you know what you need to work on. If it's not on the table, how could you ever work on it? If you can't identify the problems and where you lack, then you can never realize what you need to fix. I kind of just put a mouthful, but Jasmine, how do you feel about that question?
I mean, I agree. I feel like if you don't like who you are right now, probably go to the gym. That's the best place to live yourself, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like the gym is probably one of those things that people don't really know how good it feels until they do it. And it's also one of those things where you don't want to do it until you're there.
You can face yourself in the gym too. It gives you time to think.
Yeah.
To meditate. You can sometimes I go in there and watch the movies at US.
Yeah. They have the little theater room.
Yeah, I walk on the stairs.
Yeah, I feel that. All right. Well, let's look at the second question. So, how do I balance enjoying the present with planning for the future? So this is something I had to work on a lot as I grew up, as I started adulting and things like that. I had a really bad work-life balance. All I did was work. I didn't play. I was always a nerd. I always loved video games, and I just got away from that so far. All I did was work. I sold my consoles, my TV. All I wanted to do was learn and grow. And during that time, I got really good with business. I read a ton of books. My mind developed a lot, but I realized I was overstimulated on just work, and I really needed to balance my life better. So I went back. I fell back on the things that I enjoy. My hobbies, things that I found fun. I started going to the gym again. I started playing basketball a lot more. I started hitting up my friends a lot more. So when you talk about balance and enjoying the present and planning for the future, I talked about this in the last question, was set goals, right? The future is tomorrow. It's not always 2 years from now. So you can set a small term goal, right? I want to go to church this weekend. You know, you can set those 90-day goals. I want to have lost 10 pounds by 90 days. I want to have beat this video game. Like, you can just always set little small goals that are working towards your future. And ultimately, I think you need to have a far-fetched goal. Where do you want that? Where do you want your life to end at, right? Okay, I want to make sure I want to own a restaurant. Okay, well, that's planning for the future. So as you're planning for that future, what does it take to get that restaurant? Do you need to have an investor? Do you need to have an LLC? Do you need to have loans? Do I need to build my credit so I can get a bigger loan from a credit company and open up that business with that money? Or if I can find an investor or get eyes on my things. So just setting stuff like that, I think really learning how to balance your life out. Yeah, I think that's all I got for that one. What do you think, Alicia?
I agree on this one. I was going through the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
I was working. I had 2 jobs and didn't really do anything with work.
Yeah.
And then I would have 1 day off.
Yeah.
So for me, I quit my part-time. I started doing like other stuff to make money on the side instead,
Mhm.
which ended up being better for me because I ended up making more anyways.
Mhm.
So it gave me a lot more time. I started reaching back out to people from high school again, like interacting with people again, because I feel like I had shut myself out from the world working so much. Like
Yeah.
I
Parents will invite you out, but you can't go.
can't go, and then they stopped inviting me after a while. I'm like, invite me back out because I'm outside again.
How do you feel about planning for the future?
Planning for the future, I feel like for me it started with weekly goals, really. Like I was like, okay, next week I have to do this. I know I work these days, so next week on these 2 days that I have off, I'm going to do this. Or like sometime in the morning, I'm going to do this. And I just tried to really stick to it because I feel like sometimes like you have to hold yourself accountable to force yourself to do it sometimes when it's something you don't want to do. So I really had to like start forcing myself to stick to it. But then after that, like now I have like a calendar has like next year's goal.
Oh, sis. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I started planning. Yeah, my calendar.
Yeah.
And Apple, I'll just like put it in my calendar.
Yeah, there's a saying, a goal that's not written down is just a dream.
I believe that.
Yeah. So if you really want to go in concrete, set it, make sure you write it down. I used to, back when I was going through that time that I was just talking about, I would laminate goal cards. And I would read my goals in the shower every morning. So I had spiritual goals, I had short-term goals, long-term goals. And what I would do is I went on, put them on note cards, I laminated them, and then I would read them to myself every morning in the shower. I also had affirmations. So I would have 10 affirmations, and then every morning while I'm showering, I would read my goals, flip through my note cards.
I think that's smart.
It's crazy. I was dedicated. I was ready.
I think you should make a video to show us what you do that.
Yeah, I took them to like a Office Depot or something and was like, hey, can you guys laminate these note cards? And yeah, I would just read them in the shower to myself, like, you're gonna be a millionaire by 25. You're gonna be this, you're gonna be like, and I would just and I would just set these goals. One thing I do want to talk about future planning, I think I might have talked about this in the last episode. A lot of people have a saying where like, oh, I just go with the wind, right? And the problem with that is the wind will carry you anywhere.
Yeah.
So make sure when you guys are planning for that future that you kind of have a concrete idea of what you want. A lot of people, I mean, we're young, we don't know what we want. We can start something when we're 50 and that ends up being our legacy, right? You look at KFC. I think the founder of KFC was like 69 when he started selling his chicken. So just make sure that you guys aren't just flowing through the wind. Make sure you're actually setting goals and you're achieving small ones on the way, but you have something defined, something you want, something you like, and something that you want to be. I think helps a lot with just heading towards that future goal. Let's get into the next question. All right, Jazz, how about you read that one? You can start this one off.
What should I focus on when everything feels important? When everything feels important, I would write down all of the things
Mhm.
and then just like number them. Like, what is most important to me and what can I achieve probably the quickest?
Mhm.
That's where I start. And then after that, I'm gonna start listing all of the things. Like, if it's like smaller goals
Mhm.
that you have to do to hit these goals, I would probably start writing those down because those are gonna be the goals you want to focus on first. Because sometimes we write down goals and it's like something that you can probably achieve, but you have to do a lot of other things to get to this, right?
Mhm.
Um, so I think it's better to focus on the smaller goals first and then knock those out and go one by one.
Yeah. One thing I think we're going back and forth on these questions that I've seen to have like a common ground is goals and goal setting. Um, so anyone that's listening, it sounds like you really need to set some goals, and know your goals, right? If I were to walk up to a random person on the street and say, "Hey, you have any goals for the next 30 days?" How many people could answer that question? I wonder how many people would be like, "Oh, yeah, I got." Matter of fact, pull out of their purse a note card or be like, "Nope, look, let me show you my calendar. I'm actually doing this, this, and this." So one thing that sounds like we both have common ground on is setting goals. Seems like that's probably an important step. Let's see. So what should I focus on when everything feels important? So my perspective on this question is simply um exactly what you said. Break down when you write things down, you get a visual of how everything actually looks. So you can read it in real time and be like, "Oh, maybe this isn't as important as I thought it was. Maybe this one's more important." And I think you said something really good about numbering what is the most important and which one I should start with or things like that. Like, okay, well, this is vital. This isn't as vital, or this goal is vital to that goal.
Right.
So you can start getting closer to that one goal by knocking out the other ones. Slow down, guys. Take a breather. Life isn't going anywhere. Um, I think a lot of times people tend to compare themselves to other people's lives, and that's not good. Everyone has their own pacing. Everyone does things in their own time. So I know everything is tough. Everything, especially in your 20s, when you're coming into adulthood, everything feels like it's crashing down, burning. Feels like that meme with that guy where he's sitting in the fire and it's like, oh, everything's okay. And the little dog's just sitting there and he's like, I'm fine here. And everything's on fire. It's what it feels like a lot to a lot of people. So, yeah, guys, just really, I think numbering it was awesome. I think that's a great idea. So you can see it in real time, what's most important. All right, let's head on to the next one. How do I deal with the fear wasting my life? How do I deal with the fear wasting my life? Um, we keep circling around. I sound like a broken record, man. But goal setting is so important. But also, I think with this generation, everyone wants to be impactful. With all this social media guidance and all these people doing, everyone wants to be like, my life meant something because I want to impact millions of people, or I want to be this voice for everybody, and I want to be this influencer. Um, that's not always the case for everybody, guys. Not everyone's so charismatic. Not everyone is so. In a world full of leaders, there would be no followers, right? So some people are meant to be that, and that's okay too, right? If you feel like you're wasting your life, honestly, set some goals, achieve some things. I can't stress it enough, but progression is the cure to depression, guys. If you want to really feel like you're doing something, continue to progress in your life. And that's in all walks of life, all facets, right? It could be religion, right? You're getting closer to your God, or relationship, you're getting closer to finding the person of your dreams, right? Or children, right? A lot of people have kids and it almost sparks a whole new light. I'm not saying have a child to get you out of a depressed state, but I am saying set some goals and try and really help you feel like you're growing and doing something. Really look forward to the next day, and the only way that you're going to be able to do that is when you start doing things that you enjoy. Like I said, it could be something small. It could be, you could be a skateboarder and be like, I want to learn how to kickflip. It could be anything little, but really just start tackling things that you enjoy. And some people don't enjoy things at all. They don't know what they like. They haven't found themselves yet. So really dig deep and try and figure out what you like and who you are as a person and pursue it. A lot of people like art. Some people like music. Some people like different things, but I feel like you're only going to feel like you're wasting your life when nothing is being achieved. When you're actually out there and getting stuff done, it's really hard to feel like you're doing nothing. How do you feel about wasting your life?
Yeah, I agree on this one. Start with like have work goals and then have personal goals. Like it's good to set your own personal goals outside of just work because I feel like when you're achieving both, then it's like, okay, I'm accomplishing this. Now I have my personal goals I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing one at a time. I mean, as long as you're doing something that I feel like it means something to you. Like some people live for their family. So like it's going to be more so spending more time with their family or making that time for their kids on weekends, you know, cuz work is a lot sometimes for people with kids I've noticed.
Right.
Like my sister works so much. She like has time for her kids, but they're teenagers. So now they want to go out with their friends. They don't have time for everyone.
Yeah, they reverse there. Mom. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so it's at that point where it's like, okay, her goals are like, I want to make more time for us to do things together as a family that's fun for all of us because now they're at that age, they're all teenagers, so they're all different. And it's like, how do we get them all together to enjoy something together?
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like as long as you're doing something that's like meaningful to you, like you're not wasting your life.
Yeah.
That's one of those questions.
Yeah, don't let society
Make you feel like
make you feel that way. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. Like, don't let everyone else's
opinion
kind of shut you down, make you feel like you're wasting your life. When in reality, everyone has different facets of life, and
They have
and
their own pace.
do what you like. Yeah, no, for sure,
They have their own pace. Like
100%.
I've seen some people that's like 40 that just got in my position that I'm in at work, and then like the youngest person there is like 25. I'm like, see, like
Mm-hmm.
it's levels to this. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a different pace, but you know they got there, and so
Yeah, and who knows what they enjoy? Like that.
Yeah.
That's work related and money related. Who knows what they were doing on the side that maybe they enjoyed their life until that age. You know, and maybe
that's
they
true.
had fun doing other things and exploring the world. I had
The friend I got to experience so much more though, because
yeah, right. When they weren't working someone, I had a friend back in the day, and he's like, "Look, dude, I'd rather be a fucking bum in Hawaii on the beach."
so beautiful.
He's like, "I'd rather move to Hawaii and just be a bum and live on the beach than have a job." And I was like,
I agree.
"Hey, bro, if that's what you want to do, you know." And that was one way.
Till it rains.
Yeah, and he looked at life like that. He was like, "Man, I'd rather be a bum on a beach than work for somebody." He ended up opening his own company and being extremely successful, but
And
that was something that he would say all the time, and I was like, "Damn, that's crazy to think about."
he knew though.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wasn't meant to
We
work
knew he
for
wasn't
someone.
meant to work for somebody. All right, no thumb on him.
Leaders just know.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next question. It looks like, how do I know if my relationship is worth fighting for? Now, I get a lot of relationship questions all the time. Like in my personal life, people are always asking me for relationship advice. Old friends, new friends. People just kind of come to me for stuff like that. Mostly because I always talk about being a good listener. I just like to listen to people talk, and it kind of helped me give advice to people in different walks of life. But how do we know if your relationship is worth fighting for? I'm a firm believer on valuing yourself at the highest level that you know that you're valued at, and really knowing self-worth. You'll know what to fight for when you know how your own self-worth. Like, okay, I'm this person, I do all this stuff. I help cook, I clean, I work, I'm romantic, I remember days, I plan this, I plan that. I'm very committed to my partner. I know what they like. I know what we can do together. I plan trips. Like if you're someone that is really putting in all this work for a relationship, you should know that, and you need to know your self-worth. I'm doing this. I'm working on myself every day. I'm doing this as a better person. And what that is once you realize that you're very high value in self and you think that you're worth so much more, then you can look outside and be like, well, what are they doing? Right? I think then you can reflect and be like, how do I know if I'm going to fight for this relationship? Well, are they fighting for you? Right? It's a relationship isn't one-sided. I think if you're going to ask the question of, should I fight for it? Well, is it worth fighting for? Are they fighting for you? Is that someone that you truly love? Because that's another thing too, guys, is that happiness isn't infinite. Happiness happens in spurts. It's not, you're not ever going to be happy forever. There's going to be down times and there's going to be up times, right? A lot of people think that happiness is an emotion that you just are supposed to feel. No one just wakes up happy. And if they do, they probably have that happiness for a few minutes and it's gone. Or they woke up, smoked a joint, and it's short. But happiness is something that you have to work for. You have to fight for happiness. You have to fight to be happy. It's not given to you. Every day you work for happiness, and a relationship is one of those. There's ups, there's downs. It's not always going to be happiness at all times. So when it is those down times, how often is it? Or you have to realize, oh, this is just a down time, right? We're both being bored, or we're both this, we're both that. But is that person overall a great person? Are they loyal? Are they honest? Are they true? Do they love you? Is there a lot of love in the relationship? Can you grow? Are there kids involved? Like, I just think fighting for a relationship comes from, you have to first know your self-worth, because a lot of people, when they don't know their own self-worth, then they just let that person walk all over them, right? And then they're like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore. They're just sitting there and life passes them by. They just allow that person to do whatever. But yeah, if you're going to fight for a relationship, know your own self-worth, and then kind of evaluate the person you're with. Do we have common interests? Are we fun around each other? Can we have fun? Do we like the same common things? Are we good together? Do we do this? Do we do that? But if it's always negative, if it's just a toxic relationship, it's not worth it, guys. Right? It's okay to walk away for the love of yourself, to know that you want more for yourself, to know that you want to do more and be more. That doesn't mean you cheat and then blame the other person. It doesn't mean that you're like some
Not
asshole.
relax.
Yeah, you start fights and you're like, I'm the prize. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, I'm the loyal one. What the hell you mean you're the prize? Like,
It was-
still know, dig deep, look inside, make sure that you are doing everything you're supposed to be doing. And you should never feel bad for pushing someone away or something not working out when you did everything you were supposed to. I hate when people come to me and they're like, I'm trying, I've done everything I can, but it's not working. I'm like, then it's not your fault.
It's just not meant.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's okay if
The
you
universe has something different.
move on.
Yeah.
You lie. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were fighting for a relationship?
I mean, yeah, I was in a long relationship. I was in it for like 10 years. And towards the end, it was like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
So for this, I like wrote down like all the good things about my relationship and then all of the bad things. And when I started seeing the bad things were outnumbering the good things, I'm like, not
Bad number 110 while your good thing is number 10. Yo, shit.
I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. Good. So yeah, sometimes you just have to know, like, even being in something for so long, you just gotta love yourself. Like, sometimes at the end of the day, it's not worth forgetting who you are.
Right.
You have to love yourself. And if they don't love you for who you are, then it's probably just you guys aren't compatible.
Right.
It's just one of those things. Like, you either match or you don't with someone.
Mhm.
But it's not that the other person is always like a bad person. It could be two great people in a relationship and they're just not compatible.
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes you gotta know when you're better off as friends.
Yeah. No, for sure. Will Smith said, I remember there's this saying, which I don't know if relationship from advice from Will Smith is still a good thing, but he said, I'm 100% myself. She's 100% herself. And when we come together, we give each other 100%.
Exactly.
Not 50% of me, 50% of her, and then we're 100%. It's I'm at 100% by myself. She's at 100%. And then when we come together and spend time together, we're at 100% together. So,
Exactly. I agree with that.
yeah. Let's see. Go ahead. We can start this one off too.
How do I maintain friendships if life gets busier? I dealt with this.
I'll say, wow, that's what a perfect question, because you were just talking about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was working 66-hour work weeks. Like, I had no time for even family. I was just like, I'll text them throughout the day, but it just was like, I felt like we were all growing apart. So for this, I honestly, that's why I quit my part-time, because it gave me like a whole 20 hours like of other stuff I can do. So I made more time for my nephews now. Like, I'll make a little time and pull up to their school see them like that. My sister, I'll show up to my mom and sister live together, so I'll show up over there, visit with them. And then friends, like, I have days off now instead of just the 1 day a week. So now it's like, okay, I have 2 days off now, so now I can just like socialize on these days. I do like gym, I call them like friend dates, where I just like meet up with people that I know and we go to the gym together. So it like gives you that social vibe still. It's not like you're just by yourself doing everything. So that's how I maintain my friendships. Like I started incorporating them in things I was already doing. Like the people that I know do that stuff. I'm like, okay, when do you guys want to go? We can all go at the same time.
When you realized that you were working too much, how did you decide to quit your part-time? Like, were you like, I'm gonna look for other avenues of income that free up my time, or were you kind of like, I'm just gonna quit this, get some free time, and then try and figure out the money out later?
For this, I honestly picked up like side work. Like I started doing Lyft for a little bit. I was doing like Uber Eats, DoorDash, stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
not because you could pick your own hours. Now, like
Instead of working like a more
I really want to
corporate
do Amazon Flex.
number structured, you were like, let me go do something where I can determine the timing.
Yeah, like Amazon
Is
Flex,
that like
ship.
delivery one?
Yeah, you just pick up stuff, but you pick your hours. Stuff you can pick your hours on is probably ideal. Or like night shift where it's like I can work these nights. But really like when I want to work more, I just pick up overtime in my main job now.
Mm.
Yeah, I make more there doing that. So it was
How do you keep your communication with your friends? You said that you plan like little friend days. Do you message them throughout the week? Like a lot of people are always like,
I'm better with text messages.
okay,
I have like my socials muted because like sometimes it blows up and I just cannot. When I'm at work, it'll be like ding, 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 ding. I'll be like, oh no, I need to mute this.
yeah, I know a lot of friends that are super needy that are like, oh, they don't text me first, or oh, this or that, or they don't hit me up anymore. Like, do you feel like you have friends where you're just kind of like able to just reach out to them and then hang out whenever you guys have time?
I do have friends that I reach out to like that. I'm like, all right, let me hit them up. I know they're up or I know they're out. I know they're doing this at this time. Let me just hit them and see what they're doing. I'm better with text message though. Like, so my friends, they normally know that. I know there's text me and I'll normally just hit them right back. But social media, I'm terrible with social media.
Yeah.
I literally got my socials muted. I don't talk to my friends on there. And some of my friends feel some type of way. They'll be like, you're not on my page. You're not liking my stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I follow so many people. I don't see everybody's
Yeah.
stuff.
There's smokes and mirrors on social media. I think everyone like needs to realize we're adults, guys. Like, we're not doom scrolling 24/7, looking at each other's stuff, you know?
Don't take it personal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Social media.
I think maintaining friendships, especially as a guy, because guys, we have like this weird loyalty to each other, right? I got friends from,
Bro code.
yeah, for real. I got friends from 10 years ago that I haven't talked to in like 6 years, and I can hit them today and they'll come over. Like, I really have friendships that I've just developed over time that it's become so much brotherly love, or just friends that they know if I'm not reaching out to them or they're not reaching out to me, we're still friends. Like,
Right.
none of that takes away from our
I
friendship.
wish females were like that. Females are like not like that.
They're needy.
They're
That's why
like,
I did say that, because I do
you don't
find,
have time for me.
yeah,
Like,
I find that often. You don't reply to my texts, or you're not messaging me. Like, I feel like women are a little bit different. They kind of need,
they're little catties.
yeah,
They get mad and start like talking about each other and like, get into it. I'm like, okay.
yeah.
I'm
I
a
feel like
friend.
they need a little bit more attention, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But maintaining friendships as life gets busier. So, um,
Especially with kids, right?
kids especially, people have to respect your time. And like I said, kind of as you get older, hopefully you have friends that understand that. And some friends you won't. We just talked about having kids. Your single friends aren't going to understand what it means to be a parent.
Right.
You know, they're like,
Unless they love kids too.
yeah, they're like, hey, let's go hang out. And you're like, oh, I can hang out, but I got to bring,
Kids.
my son with me. It's like, okay, well, bring him with you, But I think friendships that are really important to you, the ones like I just said, that brotherly love, my friends that I've had for so many years, I'm probably the worst. So that question's perfect, because I literally, especially when I was younger, if I got into a relationship, she would be like my only focus. And I was one of those like,
From the world.
yeah. And I was like one of those people in my friend groups, where they were either hanging out with me or they were hanging out with one other person. So we had a group of friends. If I went out, my friends would all meet up with me, or they would go meet up with this other guy. And us two were like the heads of our group. So you would only see those people if they were out of their house, they were with you, or they were with him.
One
And
or the other.
yeah, and then once I just dropped off the place, like the planet of the Earth, they were like, "Shit, Malcolm must be in a relationship again." And now that they're out, they would go and do their thing. But I'm bad with family. I don't reply to my family a lot. I'm just terrible. Like I have friends that'll have kids, and I won't see them for like till they're 3. Like I'm so bad.
Remember me?
I'm so bad, dude. And life just goes on. The funny thing is it's because I feel I always have that same like emotion towards you. Like I tell me and my brothers when we talk now, we always make sure we say we love each other because we've lost friends. Right, growing up, we've had friends that have passed away due to different circumstances and things like that. So every day we're like, man, we don't know when we'll see each other again. But if I don't talk to them for months, it doesn't matter to them, right? I'll hit them up and be like, hey man, life's been busy, but what does matter is that you at least try to reach out. So when you do get some free time, if there's a friendship that you want to maintain, I do recommend you can't just never talk to somebody. But if you see them make a post, you happen to be on social media and you see it, they just graduated, hit them up. I'm not a fan of those friends that are like, if you don't say happy birthday to me, then we're never going to be friends again. Like, bro, I have 5 sisters. Well, let me tell you, when they ask me what their birthday is, I'm like, shit, cooked. I'm so bad. And and they're all women.
You sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's your birthday? You want a PlayStation card?
Oh yeah, it's I do like, damn.
God.
My nephew hit me up and was like, Uncle, did you forget my birthday? I didn't forget it this morning. I forgot it by this afternoon though. And I'm like, what do you want? So yeah, I think when you're trying to maintain that balance or keep those friendships, just try. A little effort goes a far way. And don't if you do plan to make that effort, don't be flaky. Like I hate friends that I haven't talked to in a long time and we start chopping it up and I'm like, man, let's reminisce, let's kick it, let's hang out, let's do something. And like, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, oh good, no problem. Then they'll make plans and I'll be like, all right, I'll be there. And then they cancel. I'm fine with like, bro, life gets busy. But if we are trying to hang out or rekindle a friendship or just see each other, we haven't seen each other in a long time, at least try. Put some effort forward. Like I said, people have kids. You can't always do things, but be there, especially if a friend needs you. If you were that like shoulder for a friend to cry on and they reach out to you, try to be there for them. Especially when you see a friend going through something, reach out if you can. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, you never know when you're like that last person they reach out to when they're having like a really bad day. And they're like, okay, I need my friend. And then you're like not there. That would be like devastating.
Yeah. Yeah. Be a good friend if you can. But that's a tough question because life goes on. People have kids. People have jobs.
Absolutely.
Some people aren't on social media as much. Some people like
Don't flake on people. When you make plans, stick to them.
Yeah. And be a person of your word. Commit to things.
Yeah.
How do I forgive myself for past mistakes? Guys, the past is gonna mold you, right? The only thing I have about this, I kind of said this on the last podcast, but I'm not a fan of people not taking accountability. Like if I do wrong by somebody, I reach out. I shit you guys not. I've reached out to people that I felt I wronged, and they don't give a fuck. I haven't talked to them in years, but my brain, the way my brain works, is something will pop up, and I'll message someone and be like, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry I did that to you. I didn't mean it. Like I really hope that that didn't affect your life somehow." And they'll be like, bro, that was fucking 10 years ago. What are you talking about? And I'll be like, my bad, bro. I just sometimes get reflective and I like to thank people. I sent a message to my uncle the other day and I was like, hey, as I'm getting, prepared to be a father, I just want to say thank you for showing me what it means to be a dad, showing me what it means to raise your children, be around your children, play the sports with them, be there for them, and at the same time have a wife that you love and that you're caring for, and then taking me in when I was a kid and helping me out during this time. And I was just being really introspective, and it was random. This uncle does hit me up, but it's not like we talk every day or nothing like that. I haven't seen him in maybe a year or two, but it just popped in my head. I was just driving, thinking about my baby to come, and I was like, man, I didn't I was raised by a single mother, so I didn't really have that father figure around. But I've had father figures throughout my life, and it just made me be thankful. And I wanted to reach out and just thank him. And I was just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you for what you've shown me. But forgiving yourself for these past mistakes, guys. Listen, life goes on. Life is always going to continue to progress. You have to be just willing to keep going to the next day and fighting for something. You know, we keep talking about these goals, but keep pushing yourself to do something. And if it is a mistake that was really bad, that you feel bad for, try and get closure. I'm not saying you can fix it, right? It's not forgive and forget all the time. But like I said, there's some people that I felt like I wronged. And if it pops into my head at random times, social media, I can find anybody. I reached out to some people that I felt I did dirty and was like, hey, I'm sorry I did that to you. I don't know if that means anything, but I just want you to know, you know? So I think make amends for some past mistakes if you can, but also learn to forgive yourself by just continue to grow. Do better tomorrow. You know, if you made some mistakes, make good choices, and hopefully you can balance that karma out, right? How do you feel?
Yeah, for this one, that's tough. Okay, so for forgiving yourself for past mistakes, you just gotta remember, like, it happened for a reason. It was like literally something that happened in your life to teach you about, life itself, because life isn't always perfect.
Yes.
So in order to forgive yourself for your past mistakes is to realize, like, it just sculpted you into a better person. Like, it just taught you what either not to do or what works.
Yeah.
Because you have to kind of figure out what works for you, because not the same things will work for everyone. Like, it's one of those things you gotta, like, learn to balance. Is okay. I did these things. I gotta, like, make amends, and I gotta apologize. And then these things happen to me, even though I didn't do anything to deserve it. Like, I just have to realize I didn't realize that was happening around me at that time. But it taught me how to, like, protect myself from that stuff in the future.
For sure.
Like, because sometimes you'll, like, willingly walk into situations that's not good for you and then be like, why is this happening to me? But
You put yourself there.
yeah, you gotta put yourself there. You can't really blame everyone else sometimes. You gotta kind of like, okay, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna, like, make this better. But in the future, you'll know not to do that. So it was really, like, just to teach you. Like, it's like when you're learning to walk and you fall down and bump your knee.
Yeah.
And then you're like, damn, I can't walk like that. I gotta walk like this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they always say, like, you don't know the fire's hot. Or the
Until
stove,
you touch it.
you touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, listen, guys, we can't change the past, but we can better the future. So,
Yeah.
always try and do your best for what's to come. All right, let's check this next question. What if I don't like who I am right now? You know what I got to do? I got to start.
Like, this was similar to the one earlier.
Yeah, I think it is. And also, I think I got to put some happier questions in here because Jesus Christ. This stuff can get depressing. What do I do if I don't like who I am right now? I think we kind of covered this one in the past one, so we're going to go to the next question on this one. How do I choose between stability and something I'm passionate about?
Mhm.
Oof. That's actually super tough. I think that's something that we have to learn. I talked about work-life balance earlier. And the thing is, being a man, we feel like we have to be that stability. Like, we're like, oh, we have to be the head of the household. We have to make sure that we have the right income to protect our family and keep us secured in this household. So a lot of the times we lose our passion. You see people that were D1 football players or some people that were really good at different sports and they lost that. They had a kid and then, all right, I got to go get a job. And then all their passion for that sport is gone, right? I got to support my family. I got to do what I got to do. And I think there's only 24 hours in a day, guys. And let's say you sleep 7, 8 of them, it cuts your day pretty short. Take time to realize that there is more time in the day for you to find the things that you love, the things you're passionate about. Unfortunately, stability comes with I think stability comes with a lot of being able to balance your day out, cutting your time, seeing what time you have, and really just accurately figuring out, okay, on this day, I'll be able to do this. I think when people are struggling with that, some people can do it just naturally, but if you're really struggling with spending some time on things that you love and things that you're passionate about, but your work-life balance isn't working, you really have to look at a day and say, okay, when will I have time to do this? You know, people really suck at planning things out. People are very technical people. They kind of just go throughout the day. But I think if it's something you're struggling about and it's something you actually do care about, okay, I want to spend more time on the things that I'm passionate about, then you're going to have to learn to balance your time better and really get a schedule. You have to become a more scheduled person, a more stable person that can really just plan out their day and say, hey, I like to draw. I like to paint. I like to play games. I like to do this. I like to play basketball. On this day, out of this time, I'm going to dedicate this hour to doing this thing that I love. And that way you can get it out of your system and hopefully you can really find a balance. How do you feel?
I agree on this one. For this, the way to choose, I feel like you can also find like ways to do things you like and make money doing it. Like, I know people that like to, DJ and mix music in their free time. So they made like a TikTok page where they like, now they have 1 million followers and they can just make their little money doing what they love too on the side. So I feel like most things you do in your free time, there's a way to like make money off of it too.
Sure.
Like even dance videos, you could teach people how to dance, make a class, make money doing that. If you like to bake, you can bake little dishes and sell them on the side. So like that'll help you be more stable because money brings stability, I feel like, in this generation of living.
But for sure, there's a saying, it's my butcher, this has been a while since I've said this, but it goes, there's no scarcity in making money at the thing you love. There's only scarcity in pursuing it. So like anything can make you money, but you have to be willing to pursue that thing that you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
some people
especially nowadays.
thrive though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially after kids over time, aging.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You could teach the kids to do it now.
Yeah. But definitely if money's the problem, you can pursue something that you enjoy and try to find ways of making money at things that you love and things that you do. So the problem with this question,
The goals too.
the problem with this question, I think it's saying, how do I choose?
How do you choose? Is like you got to pick one or the other. I mean,
And I don't think you have to. So I think,
yeah, I don't feel like you have to because you could still like if you work a lot, you can work still, but you just have to make that time block. Like when I really wanted to start working out, I started making time blocks. Like on my 30-minute lunch, I would run for like 10 minutes for that lunch.
now you do have to compromise. So the thing about that,
Compromise.
yeah, when it says, how do I choose between being, something passionate, stability, you do have to compromise. The stability does come with some benefits, right? Like if I have a job and I have to work 40 hours a week, those 40 hours a week are there. I can't change those 40 hours. Like those, I have to work those 40 hours.
But if you get good at something and you make money off of it, you could quit that job.
You could quit that or something different. Yeah, for sure. So if you're asking, how do I choose between, I think stability is important. Make sure you're stable, then find a passion, and then you can pursue something, especially if you want to make money in that thing slowly but surely. You can maneuver, or like in your case, you needed more time, so you found something else that can make you money that's profitable on the side.
I make more.
And you make more, right?
I'm not gonna lie. Like over there, my checks, I was making $17 an hour there. And I was working with 26 hours a week. My checks every 2 weeks were like, after taxes was like 700. And I do like one day on Lyft, I made like 200, 250. Like, I'm like, what? I don't even.
Hey, shout out these.
It's a week.
The mobile side hustles. Shout out DoorDash. Shout out Lyft. Shout out Uber. Like that's pretty clutch. Those things definitely come in handy.
Easy job. If you like stick it to yourself, you just pull your orders and go about your day.
Yeah, but that passionate question, I don't think you have to choose between. I think you can find stability and still find time for passion. And hopefully you can find stability in your passion. That would be the best way to do it. That would be awesome. Yeah. How do I figure out what I really want, not just what's expected of me? I really want not just what's expected of me.
Huh.
I think. Well, first of all, what's expected of you is irrelevant, right?
Right.
You can do what you want to do and how your life is supposed to be now.
Yellow.
Yeah, expectations are. I'm gonna answer the question how it's asked, but expectations that are set on yourself should be set by yourself.
Right.
Right?
Not
It should
the
be a
next.
battle with yourself, not by someone else. So, but when you're trying to figure out what you really want, what do you enjoy? What are some things that you love? What are some things that you find yourself happiest while doing? Like, I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy doing that. I really enjoy doing this. And I think figuring that out is important. And then expectations, like I said, they need to be set by yourself. You should have expectations for yourself are important, right? You should have expectations because you need to constantly be growing and doing things to get better. But I think you should really ask the question of who's expecting what of what, right? Oh, these people expect this from me. These people expect this from me. These people expect this from me. But what do I want to do? What do I want to make sure I have? So how do you feel about this one?
I mean, what other people expect of you shouldn't even matter. I feel like, because it's really like you're gonna do what you need to do anyways to survive out here. How you would figure out what you really want is to like really dig deep in yourself. Like take some time, maybe sit there and quiet and just meditate and ask yourself, like, what do I want out of life? What do you see yourself doing that makes you happy 10 years down the line? Because that's what you probably should get into doing. I feel like
I feel like people don't know their passions. Like I feel like people
we don't ask the
they don't talk to
questions.
themselves.
You gotta ask yourself, what do I want out of life? What makes me happy? Sometimes you even gotta figure out what makes you mad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like these things, so I'm not gonna do this. Like,
Avoid them. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I used to have. So I talked about having like note cards. I got letters from like a Home Depot or something, and I put my why. So when you walked into my room, you would see in big letters, it said my why. And what that meant to me is just, why do I do it? Why am I trying so hard? Why am I working so hard? Why am I pursuing this? And it was a picture of all my sisters and my mother. So when you walked into my room, it said my why, and it was a photo of all of my sisters and my mom right there. And I would come home to that. I would wake up to that, but I'd always look at my wall and it would say my why. And that was kind of like, why am I doing
That's dope though. Like just knowing why are you doing this? What makes you want to do this?
For sure. And I think it helped because it slips your mind. You know, it's hard to think about it when you're in it, but when you see it in real time, you're like, that's why.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Let's see what's the next one we got. How do I stay disciplined when motivation fades? That's exactly what discipline is. Yeah. So the funny thing about that one is,
Mind yourself. Why?
yeah, discipline is something that lacks motivation. You don't need to be motivated to be disciplined. A discipline is something that you do when you want to do it and when you don't want to do it. That's how you create discipline. So when you're asking, how do I stay disciplined? You need to create the discipline to begin with. The gym is the perfect example. It's really easy to see who can stay. It's so hard because it hurts.
If you overdo it.
It hurts.
And then
It hurts.
really hurts. And you're like,
Well, nobody wants to be there. Like people all the time, they're like, "Oh, you probably love the gym." No, I don't, bro. I've been going to the gym for 6 years.
back hurts.
I'm never happy to go. Like I don't get up like catch your weight.
Hurts.
Yeah, I don't like the gym, bro. I go because I'm disciplined. I know what the results that the gym are gonna give me, I want. And that's what discipline is. Discipline is the absence of motivation. It's being able to consistently do something when you're not motivated. So when you ask that question, how do I stay disciplined when motivation fades? It's because it's a discipline. That's how you stay disciplined. Is that you've already created the habit.
Or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to just do it. You know, on the Nike shit. So just do it. Just go. My nephew, I tell him all the time. I'll be like, yo, why haven't you been to the gym? He's like, well, I just wait for you to come home. And if you don't go, I'm like, he's like, if you don't go,
Well-
I'm not gonna go. And I'm like, what do you mean? Just go without me. And then hopefully you create the discipline and the habits. I think that's the perfect word, is just creating the right habits to help you create that discipline to keep going. And that's what happens, is you already have the right habits in place and you're consistently doing those things, that discipline is created. So I don't think you need motivation when you have the right discipline.
I agree.
All right, what's the next one? You can start this one off too.
How do I stop comparing my progress to others? Take a social media break. Start there.
That's good. That's good. Smokes and mirrors.
I feel like with social media, everyone watches everyone, so like they just naturally compare, like, damn, I don't have that yet, or damn, I'm not doing that. So it makes them naturally compare themselves. So like, in order to stop, I feel like just stop watching people, unless it's just like to go on there and be happy for people. Because I feel like some people get on there and they're not happy for other people. When they get on there, they're just like angry, and in the comments, angry. I see a lot of bickering in comments now, but I feel like it's just because people get on there and compare themselves to other people. They're like, well, I got this, I got that. You don't have that. But everyone is at their own pace. So, like, you got to remember that and forget what people are talking about for a second and just focus on, like, what are you doing? Where are you at? And just focus on your own path. Like, just shut everything out.
For sure. Yeah, Drake once said in the song, he said, he said, I knew a girl whose one goal was to visit Rome. And then once she got to Rome, all she did was take pictures for people back at home. And it
That
like,
sounds about right.
yeah,
I just want to show everyone I went
I
to
just want to show everyone that I did it. And you got to live for yourself, guys. When you set these goals and you're out and you're doing things in real time,
Mhm.
you know, I think a social media cleanse is perfect thing to say. I think everything is smoke and mirrors. I know so many relationships that are burning, but you would never know because all they do is post the happy moments. Even if they're fake happy moments, all you see on social media is things that,
Because it looks good.
yeah, you never know. You know, they're all smoke and mirrors out there. One of my favorite things to
Not
tell people,
real.
one of my favorite things to tell people, like you said earlier, you know, you got people at your job in the same position that are 40 and that are 25 and that are 30.
Exactly.
And one of my things I always tell people is stop comparing your chapter 1 to other people's chapter 25.
Exactly.
Like, we don't all start in the same place.
Some people get it just handed to them.
Some people get it handed to them.
easy.
So some people
really work.
Some people come from wealth.
up.
Some people come from the mud, right? So
Exactly.
you don't know where people come from, how they get it. Shit, I remember listening to T Grizzly, and he's like, I gotta be winning because Kylie Jenner is making $1 billion and I'm only making $1 million. Like, we're the same age. How is she winning? And it's like, bro, you can never compare yourself to anybody. Yeah. Especially not to a Kardashian. God damn.
They just had that.
Yeah, bro. They got that, bro. You good. They
with
got
the
that.
fire.
But it's all smoke and mirrors, guys. Comparison. What is it? Comparison is the enemy to happiness, to joy. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? And you shouldn't ever be out there, like I said, comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20, right? Some people start at chapter 20. Some people start at the end of the book and write a whole new one while you're still starting at chapter 1. I remember I saw a social experiment in a social media video where this guy took like 100 people out and he said, whoever can win this race, I'll give you $100, right? And he had everyone stand. He said, now take a step forward if you never had your phone cut off. Take a step forward if you never had to worry about where your next meal came from. Take a step forward if you never had to worry about your gas bill being paid. Take a step forward if you've never been evicted. And by the end of him asking these questions, there's these people that are way more athletic, way faster, that are at the back of the line because all those things have happened to them. And there's all these people that are now halfway to the finish line because they didn't have any of those mishaps or missteps or things setting them back. And then he goes, now, if you win this race, do you think it's fair that you're already 80% to the finish line while they're way back there? They're starting way further back than you were. And I think that social experiment was freaking amazing, especially because it was a bunch of like black dudes way in the back. And it was like, fuck. It's like those dudes would have smoked you in a race, bro. But I think that social experiment was phenomenal, just showing people that just because you have a leg up You know, you think about how many households come from both parents, you know, a mother and a father household, two house incomes, different things like that. How many immigrants households are there? You know, I think just comparing progress is such a, that phrase is so perfect, saying comparison is the thief of joy, because you live your life how you live it, and you can never look at others and want to compare. It's just not a fair, uh,
You're not giving yourself a fair advantage
yeah,
either.
no, you're not. And I think you should really try to avoid comparing yourself to others.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How do you feel about being a father soon? Ah, look at that. That's my question. Huh? It's a question for me. For those that don't know, my girlfriend is pregnant. We're due August 13th. You know, I'm getting all her cravings, and I'm running to the restroom 24/7. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's happening. My bladder's never been like this. What the hell am I getting all these freaking pregnancy side effects, and I'm not the one that's pregnant. I'm gaining weight. Like, that's chill. I'm excited, man. I think I said this a long time ago, and I used to say this all the time, and people used to be like, what? And I would say, I think my goal in this world is just to be a father. When I was 16, I was saying that, and people were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, I really think that I'm just meant to be a dad. Like, I think in this world, if I'm here, I'm going to live my life to the fullest, what I can do, but I really think I'm meant to guide others. And I think fatherhood is the perfect way to show that. I think I've always been, even when I was the youngest in the group, I still played the big brother role. You know, my
I
nephew
think so.
currently lives with me, and he's like, I don't see you as my uncle. I look at you like a big brother,
No.
you know? And I think that's how I feel. I'm just super excited. I'm super ready for him to be here. I think it's time. A lot of people were like, how the hell have you not had a kid yet? You're out there wilding. How the hell are you just now finally becoming a dad? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Pull out game.
Phenomenal.
I'm batting at 100%, bro. But I made it this far, and I'm excited. I think the timing is right. I think my Jordan's perfect. I think she fits everything for me. You know, if soulmates exist, I found mine, and I just think together we're gonna probably create such a welcome and happy, and just bring so much joy and happiness to our children that they can bring it to others. And I think the world will be a better place, and wherever I leave it, and where I'm at when I'm gone, my children will carry on and just be great people, and have birthed great people, and we'll just have a lineage of great people that bring joy and happiness to others.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the one thing you're nervous about for being a dad? First time.
I kind of suck at I can compartmentalize things, but I really suck at giving attention to little things.
The detail.
I'm really shitty at, like, yeah, so I'm really bad at being like if he falls and scrapes his knee, I'll be like, hey, he scraped his knee, but Jordan will be like, it's the end of the world, take him to the hospital, like, you know, like, and that's a good thing in some aspects, but it's a bad thing in others. Like, I'm really bad at it. If it's something that isn't constantly on my mind at that time, I overlook it, and I think it's like the smallest detail, which I think is so perfect for Jordan, because she balances me out, because I'm so lack of emotion when it comes to things that I don't care about, and she's so emotional. So I think that's something that scares me.
Perfect balance.
Yeah,
Too.
I think that's something that scares me. I'm
We
gonna
got the emotion and
I'm gonna be so nonchalant about little shit. And she's gonna be like, he's choking. I'm gonna be like, he's only been choking for 2 seconds. All right.
He's not joking.
Like, he's gonna be all right. But I think that's something that probably worries me, is that I might be a little too nonchalant and overlook the little things. And sometimes little things are so important, especially to teenagers or kids as they grow up. The little things are the important things. I think I'm scared that I'm gonna overlook those little things, but that's what she said for to help me balance that.
Kind of, yeah.
So that is something that
balance
scares me.
each other out good, so it'll be like perfect balance. Like,
Yeah.
she'll be on top of the details, and then you'll be like, nah, calm down, it's cool, we got this.
Yeah. So I think that's something that scares me about being a father. And I was just thinking about it the other day. As it gets closer, I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do with time? Who's our
Time is
babysitter?
gonna fly so fast.
Oh my God. And I'm like so scared that what if they fucking trip or fall? Like, the little things are starting to get in my head right now, and I'm like, Now I know.
Man,
This is where that
this baby proved the house.
this is where that panic comes from. So, but yeah, guys, I'm excited. I'm happy, and I think it's time. I think I'm ready. I've always thought I was ready, but I think I couldn't have had a better person to go through it with. But also, I think I'm also fully prepared and loaded for it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you guys are like at that prime right now. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I told her we're giving one every 2 years though. So
how many do you guys want to have total?
I want 4. So I want
So
one.
you guys are gonna have this one, then go for another right after.
So 30, 32, 34, 36, and 38.
2 years apart
2 years apart. I want all of them 2 years apart.
on the diet.
Yeah. I want 2 boys, 2 girls. I really want them to be in school together. So I really want to have like,
That's how it is with my nephews right now.
I really want them to have at least one of their brothers or sisters with them during school. Especially if I really wanted a boy first. So I am having a son. And I really wanted to have a boy first just so that I could have a big brother in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I have a daughter, she has her older brother. That can
Exactly.
be there for her when I'm not around, things like that. But I really wanted that big brother aspect, so I got it. They were like, "Hey, you wanted a boy? Let's give it to you." So the world definitely looked out for me. But if I have a girl next, or I have another girl after that, or another girl after that, it's fine. I don't really care which gender. I just wanted a boy first.
You said I just want a boy first.
Yeah, everyone after this, I think is perfectly fine. But I do want them 2 years apart. Hopefully, they can be in like 4th grade and 6th grade at the same time, at the same elementary, same middle school, same high school, so on and so forth.
Yeah. That's how it is with my nephews. They're like 9 months apart.
Yeah. Damn.
Literally, my sister literally came
From the hospital and
back pregnant.
got it back.
It might be 10 months, but yeah, they're literally the same age. For like 1 year, it'll be part of the year they're both the same age.
That's actually insane.
So next year we got another one graduating 5th grade. The other one just graduated 5th grade, and then we got Bentley. He's 8th grade. Was going to 8th grade. So they're like right neck and neck.
That's dope.
It's cool though, because they're like so close in age. They're different but the same. Like they like the same stuff. They do stuff together, so it like keeps them busy. But they're different because the one's a little older. So he's a kid
He's a
now.
little guiding there.
Yeah.
That's our last question, guys. Let's wrap it up. Let's say thank you to Jasmine for being here. Do you want to tell people your socials, where they can find you or follow you?
Oh yeah.
Even though she's not on social media like that, guys, but
I'm not on there like that, but all of them are The Real Lady Raw.
one more time.
The Real Lady Raw.
The Real Lady Raw. All right. Thank you guys again for joining us on the second episode. Appreciate all the questions that were sent. They were great questions. I hope you guys find some value in this. I hope you guys can listen to this in the car or on your way home, or just hear some things that might stick out to you guys that you relate to, and that just help you get through some tough situations, or put you in the right track when you're already on that track and you know that you're doing the right thing. So take everything we said and hopefully it gets to you guys. And once again, thank you guys for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time on Let's Talk About It. I want you guys to remember, I'm not a licensed professional in psychology, medicine, law, or finance. I simply share my personal insight, experiences, and general life advice meant for inspiration and reflection, not as a substitution for professional help. If you guys do need to seek professional help, it is out there. Make sure you guys go and speak to a professional. The content shared here is for motivational purposes mostly. And like I said, I'm not a constitutional licensed professor, so make sure you guys reach out to those who can.